Now, obviously, that's just ahead of the numbers coming out, isn't it? So just ahead of the numbers coming out, we started to see this opportunity to get short into this. Now, obviously, what happened from that offer, of course, was it continued to develop. I mean, there was another couple of ideas that we could have added to during that period if you're trading this prior to the data. There was another very, very strong offer just in there. So you can obviously start having an idea about this short going to be a short trade. Now, obviously, what happened to that offer watch, you can see bond offer watch there. What happened to that offer, of course, is that we started to see all of this selling coming into the S&P here. Lots and lots and lots of selling coming into the short S&P position here. And that's obviously at 1 o'clock. You can see that that started at 1 minute past 1. And obviously the trade here is the ES dealer offering into short, pressing short into aggregate supply. Do you see it? So the dealers are now offering to press into that supply line at 1 o'clock. Now, obviously, if you look at that trade from 1 o'clock onwards, you'll see exactly what the dealers are doing. They were doing exactly that trade, weren't they? They were pressing that supply from, interestingly enough, 1 o'clock. So we can actually start to spot these ideas, can't we? We can start to consider what that trade is. We can start thinking about what they're doing with that bit of business. They can start considering whether it's right, whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it. It doesn't make any difference. It is what it is. So when you see that trade setting up there, you'll see that at 1 o'clock here, at 1 minute past 1, we're already telling you this. So this is this trade here, isn't it? So that's where your short sell is at 61s. So that's where your short sell was at 61s, and it's now obviously traded 44s. So you've done another very, very substantial nearly $1,000 on the short press, on the short press ever since these offers started to show up. And you can see that there was actually offers coming in earlier at 54 anyway. So plenty of opportunities to find that to find that short sell play. And obviously, the outcome, of course, with the bond was this massive spike lower into this 1315 candle. And on the spike lower at 1315 on bonds, you'll start to recognize that the bond became cheap inside of a bear flattener. And at 1330, you were starting to look for the possibility of a bid coming back into bonds. So obviously at 1330, you're thinking about that bid coming back into bonds on the cheapness. And it's not exactly kicked off big style. So you're looking at the bids coming back in on the dip here. And obviously it did jam the price for a while, but it didn't develop into much. And as I said, I'm a little bit concerned about buying it myself, simply because of the possible paradigm shifting nature of a number as big as the number that we just got. So you get the basic idea of how that played out. Nothing surprising about what you've obviously seen there. Is it's pretty much in line with what you would have expected. And we just wait now for new information. But certainly the short sell from the S&P from last night, I haven't had any buy trades today. As you know from my tweet last night, we said I wasn't keen on it. I just didn't like it much. And well, we were right. We were right, weren't we? We were absolutely spot on with the RGL, of course, all the way back at 44.80. It's now trading 44.45. And that means that we've just done over $2,000 since my call last night. $2,000 short sell equities. Now that's pretty good business for anybody that obviously is able to read, take note of what the trade says, think about what the trade's telling you, whether you agree with it, think about the macro narrative behind that storyline, and then execute from last night. And that's exactly what happened there on the S&P there. So does it tell us that that's what they were thinking was going to happen? Well, who knows? I mean, you'd have to ask them that were putting up their pricing. But certainly it seems on the face of it as if that was pretty much in line with what you expected. That's pretty much in line with what I tweeted last night. I was surprised with that 2-point skew, and it's been sell side ever since then.